feast of Epiphany, the manifestation of our Lord's presence in human form, coming as King of the universe. And of course, we traditionally in the West associate this feast with the visit of the three magi, indicating that all nations are truly seeking God and find Him in the person of Jesus Christ. I mentioned last week when we sang the Introit for the Feast of the Holy Family that there are some subtle things happening in the way we interpret the text of the Old Testament. And so this Introit makes use of different phrases borrowed from the prophet Malachi, from books of Chronicles, and from Psalm 71 in the Vulgate edition. These are all texts about kings, and what we normally associate with kings are ideas like power, authority, reign, strong hand, etc. We should recognize, of course, in the imagery of the Magi visiting Jesus as an infant, that once again, it's important to see what is meant by God's strength. We, again, will tend to think of human kings as being the sort to smite their enemies, meaning other human beings. God comes rather as quite a helpless human being, and yet He is still the King of the universe. But His power is one over the roots of evil, the roots of sin, rather than over other people. God comes to save the nations. We're going to sing for you the last phrase once more, et potestas et impérium. This chant is in mode 2. There are 8 common church modes. The first 2 of them are minor modes, modes 1 and 2. Mode 2 is interesting because while it's a minor mode, and in modern music we think of minor modes as being sad or frightening in some way, mode 2 in chant tends to be a combination of a sort of contemplative stance coupled with a certain confidence, certain solidity. The range of mode 2 is very small, so it feels very predictable, solid, reinforced in a certain way. And at the same time, this restriction of the notes also indicates it's not an ecstatic kind of contemplation, but one that is really rational, intellectual, aesthetic in a certain kind of sense. And we use mode 2, for example, during the Introit for the Midnight Mass at Christmas. And this is an indication of our contemplation of the Word existing before all time, co-eternal with the Father, entering into time. And we contemplate this mystery, and it's not until the Mass of Christmas morning, Puer Natus Est, that we get a really ecstatic Introit with a lot of large intervals. I think you can hear what I wanted to do in having us sing that last phrase was to hear the solidity, the kind of confidence. This mode is not at all sad, even though it's a minor mode, quote unquote. We are simply going to sing one more time through the Introit from start to finish. I hope you can hear some of this nuance in it. And remember that the confidence that we have from the visit of our Lord, from our Lord's advent in the flesh, is the confidence in being able to overcome sin and vice and live truly as free sons and daughters of God. So one more time, Ecce Advénit.
In et